Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela, I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to another Funday dye day. This one's slightly different, mind. If you managed to catch the video yesterday, I button up here, watch it later if you're on the preview, you will know that I broke my centro whilst trying to prep for this video. What happened was I'd crocheted a sock. I hadn't finished it, so I decided I was going to make a sock blank on my centro, just spin it round and round and round. It's a mini centro. It now don't want to work. But I did manage to make it so that we have now got a crocheted sock blank and of course a knitted sock blank. So come on, I'll show you a tiny clip of the centro video so you know what I mean when I say I broke it. Swear word here, swear word here, swear word here. Oh, naughty me. Oh. Swear word here, swear word here, swear word here. Oh, naughty me. Right, so welcome back. As you saw in the video a few moments ago, I did do a mega muck up. So because my centro broke, this is what we're left with. I did at one point want to do a bit of dyeing on something like this and also a separate video on something like this. But to be honest, it was going to be really nice to be able to compare the difference between what a crocheted stitch could look like and what it looks like once it's unravelled, and the same of course with a knitted sample. Now remember that the section from here to here is a looser stitching because it had come from the sock. Right, apologies for any noise in the background. I may end up overdubbing because it's wash day, laundry day here, otherwise none of us are going to have any clothes for the morning. So I've got to keep that going. But let's get on with today's dyeing. Now I am choosing to use today, this might surprise you a little, brown and grey. Okay, so we've got espresso brown and smoky grey. Now I've chosen these because I know they break. I want them to break. I hope they break. Okay, and I've also mixed up some brown. Okay, so that will be coming into play in a little bit because I plan to do some striping with the brown liquid, and then I'm going to be dusting over the smoky grey to see what breakage we can get and what extra colours we can get with both of these. Now I'm going to have to treat both sides quite the same when I turn them, but I'm not going to be folding them inside out and doing the inside section. So we may end up with quite a bit of white, or we may not. We're just going to have to see what happens. Right, so let's get going. Right, so to start off with, I am going to be starting with the striped section. So let's start on our cheeky sock up here. How many rows? How many rows? Nope, that didn't work. Leave a decent sized gap. Now let's turn the sock over and see if I can get it to match on the other side. Oh, it's come through quite nicely. I'm not going for perfection on this gang, I'm just trying to get it as close as, match it as close as possible, so that when it comes to undoing it, our stripes will hopefully match. Let's flick that one back over. I've had to do this because of course it's attached still. Okay. Now onto these stripes, I'm going to do larger stripes. I'm not sure if you're able to pick this up, but I've got some different shades going on in here, so I'm trying to flood it a little bit but not too much. Okay, on to the next bit. I know my measuring's not going to be perfect, not by a long shot. As you can see here, or you may be able to see, the colour is travelling up the yarn. This would have been so cool in a dip dye experiment. Okay, just fold it over. And if you look up at the sock at the top, we've also got travelling on there. There's some red bleeding out of here. So, and now on to the grey. This is a bit I've been looking forward to. I really hope that this works now. In my little tub here, I have got some grey. I've also mixed it with a little bit of salt in the hopes that the salt will just dissolve, of course, and it means that we won't get as much clumping as normal. Wish me luck. Here we go. I've really got to master this, haven't I? It's not working. There we go. Okay, so I don't know if you can make this out. We have got some of the colours now touching and breaking, and now I've touched it. Normally I like to splat, but on this occasion I am literally just going to leave it. She says with dyeing around, touching it. Stupid woman. Alright, okay, so we're going to leave this for a few minutes. I'm then going to turn it over, which of course will make it splat. And I'm going to dust the other side. I can see a lot of blues, reds, some yellows, some greens, lots and lots of different colour breakage. Fingers crossed it stays like this. Only time will tell. Okay, so after a little bit of time and not a great deal actually, I managed to turn it over. Oh, it was dangerous. Luckily I didn't get too much dye everywhere else, and I cleared it up pretty much as I went along, she says, wiping down the side. Okay, so as you may be able to see here, we have got some colour coming through, which is absolutely brilliant on the knitted. Okay, because that means that the gaps are big enough for the dye to get into. But on, of course, our crocheted one, the only dye that's on it is what I got on my fingers as I was turning it around. So let's move on to giving this a secondary dusting, and then of course I can wrap it and leave it. Now onto the knitted. I know I'm a little bit cheeky there, but I want to make sure that there is some dye on, of course, the edges of the work. So I'm just trying to get rid of the bits I've got left, but I don't want to go too mad. She says, adding more and adding more while you lot shout at me, stop woman, stop. Right, that's it. There is a tiny minuscule amount left, but nothing really to worry about there. I'll pop that in a container, we'll use that another day. Right, now to leave this for about half an hour, see how it goes, do the old heat treatment and all the rest of it. Fingers crossed it turns out halfway reasonable. Now of course when I'm wrapping it I'll show you what the other side looks like, because by then hopefully it will have set and the colours will have struck. Right, so I have concertinaed the plastic between all of these layers because I thought, well, that's pretty much the only way to do it. And I'm now handling it as best I can and just using the brown sections, so not to muck around too much with, of course, the speckles. Okay, so you saw the top of the sock. There is the bottom. Okay, we have quite a bit of grey pants. No, it's okay, I can deal with it. It looked better on the other side, but at the end of the day it's worth a go. Let's see what this looks like once it is dried and hanged. Wish me luck, everybody. So the choice really is, do I start by undoing the sock or undoing this? Which one's taking up less yarn, I suppose? I don't know. I'm going to get the scales out and find out. Now this won't show a completely true representation. Why aren't you zeroing out? Oh, because I got it on the wrong thingy. Hold on. Right, so this one is approximately 68 grams. Now this is going to be completely null and void, really, isn't it? That's all I'm saying. Oh, you are joking. So basically with the water I've used pretty much the same amount of yarn on both of them. Help. Right, so I've undone a small amount of the sock for the moment, just so I can show you how the yarn is looking. Let me just try and focus this a little better for you. Okay, fingers crossed I picked the right direction. Okay, so here we can see, yay, look at those little dots of colour coming through. There's lots there, isn't there? We've got yellows, we've got blues, we've got reds, and this was all from just the grey. There's a bit of yellow there, pink and red. Okay, and some darker sections. Oh, some darker sections there. That one's really cool. You can't see it on camera, but it's got a pink middle with a blue exterior with a yellow splodge at the end. Yeah, so I'm going to, I was trying to do this, I was going to just go look, but because it's still damp, it is still being a little bit awkward, so I'm having to tease the stitches out. So I'm going to leave this again for another bit of time, and hopefully that will be easier to undo once it's dried. Okay, and the knitted section, if I take it slowly it's doable at the moment while it's slightly damp, but as I said, I don't want to put too much stress on it. The browns are coming out quite nicely. There is a lot of different tones within that one section. Okay, so I'm gonna again leave this to dry and argue with it another day. Alright, so I have managed to work out how to do this. What I did to start off with was on this lower section here. This is the knitted section. I will put a photo in a moment showing you how it laid out like this, but I didn't have a great deal of room on this. It might look like I did, but over in the corner I've actually got a missing section of the lattice, so I didn't want the yarn to catch. Okay, so I will pop in the section for this sock now. Now this top section here is the knitted, the crocheted section of the sock. Just to prove it, oh, I have the toe bit left. Okay, so I'm just going to do this slightly off camera because it's a stupid angle. I was hoping to actually do it on camera, but I'll undo this section. Okay, like that, nice and easy. But as I said, I'm going to leave this now and do this off camera, but I just wanted to show you what it looked like worked up. I will take a photograph because the quality, the light quality in here is not brilliant and not showing the yarn off in a nice light. So here is a photograph now of this section with this bit added in, because hey, why not? Round and round and round I go, where I stop and nobody knows. Do do. There we go, that's the last bit done. As you can see here, there is the rest of the colourway. Right, time for the photo. It's not really showing it off, is it? It's showing how flipping crinkled it is as well. Okay, so now I'm on to hanking this up. It's not brilliant because of course of the extra issues that I have in combat and try and keep it nice and neat and tidy. It may be a case that I will have to re-hank it, but hopefully I won't. We'll have to see what it looks like at the end. Okay, so now I'm going to fast forward and show you me doing it. It takes forever otherwise. Nearly. It's been about 10 minutes of me sitting here gently teasing and following the twist of the yarn. Right, time to get back on now and do the rest of it. Right, so now it's time for the end result. I've got it sitting on my lap, untwisted at the moment, so I can show it to you. And then, of course, later on, I'll show it to you hanged, especially in photos. You never know, I might do it now. Now, how did I find this whole process? It was really intriguing, actually. Yes, I understand that I've mixed two methods that I would have done as two separate videos because, of course, the little mini centro broke. So we've got what it looks like as a sock, and of course what it looked like as a knitted. Now I've tried to keep the colourway as even throughout both of them, but of course I don't know how much yarn is used for a round of knitting as I do for a round of crochet, and actually I've never measured either, so it was all guesswork. Okay, and I was quite chuffed when it was undoing it how many times I got it to go around the laundry basket before it changed its colour. And of course the knitting was really good. It was quite what's the word, it was the same amount pretty much, give or take sort of half a turn, not half a turn, sorry, half a go around the box, but otherwise it was pretty similar in the amount of wraps around the box that I got. With the crochet it was a similar thing, but there were less wraps. Okay, maybe it was down to the way that the material lays out between the two. I'm not too sure, but when it came to undoing the sock blank, the crocheted one, the colour had gone all the way through the yarn and it had been picked up by the majority of the yarn quite evenly. There is still a lot of tonal differences between, oh crikey, I really sound like I know what I'm talking about. I still don't. Okay, so you want to know, what does it look like? Okay, so it is a bit crinkled still, so I'm going to do a little bit more research, as in, do I give this another soak and then another dry, which will hopefully make the crinkle come drop out, or do I just hang it up, leave it and hope for the best? I really don't know, but some parts of this are slightly more crinkled than others. But here it is. I'm hoping that there is the right shade amount of light in this room and it's not going to bleach out. But here we go. Right, get my face off screen and focus in. There we go. Okay, it's not showing the colours super true, but it's giving you, get my head out of the way, a really nice idea of what the colours look like. And there is quite a lot, as you can see here, of the browns, and then the speckled are very similar. There's within it. It's really not showing it. I can't wait to show you the photos at the end of today. Right, where did me ends go? There we go. So now I'm going to hang it up, see what it looks like. Ooh, I got a sneak peek. Okay, this hank is not hanked correctly yet. It's going to take me a little while to get it looking nice and neat. Close enough, I suppose. And there it is, hanked up. I love how those colours are working throughout the entire hank there, and you can see it a lot easier now than what you could while it was all wibbly wobbly and crinkly. And yes, I do know it's not a good looking hank at the moment. It looks like something Liam's nabbed and run around the house with. But what I'll do is I'll re-hank it, neaten it up, take some photographs, and they will be coming on the end screen now, in a few moments. So that is it for today's crazy experiment and things that went wrong that turns out they haven't. Right, that is it for me for today. Please remember, you've got about 2 minutes now while the photographs are going through to say goodbye to everybody if you're here on the preview. Otherwise, if you are here watching the rerun, thank you ever so much. Now, if you would like to purchase that hank, there's only the one, okay? If you would like to purchase that hank, please drop me an email and I'll give you prices. If you are outside of the UK, please be aware that postage is through the roof and it may not really be worth you doing. But if you want to find out how much it's going to be for the postage alone, then drop me an email and I will tell you what you need to know. And I won't be upset if you say, no, forget that, postage is ridiculous. I expect it. So there we go. Right, as I was saying, that is it for me for today. So please remember, stay chilled, stay happy, and keep crafting. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, don't forget them thumbs up.